Sai Ram. It was the 13th of December 2009. The evening session in the Sai Kulwant Hall was coming to a close and Swami beckoned for the Aarti to begin. Even as the person came to wave the camphor, the Aarti, another gentleman got up with a rose in his hand and walked towards Swami. Now this was my cue to also get up and walk right up to the front in front of Swami to take a picture of this gentleman with Swami. You see, Swami always expresses his gratitude. He in fact gives back to all of us more than what we can ever give him. He had instituted in 2009 and 2010 a beautiful practice wherein anybody who had served in the ashram or in the institutions for say 5 years or more, one by one every evening they could come and offer a rose to Swami before the Aarti. This was such a beautiful practice. Not only had he allowed that, he had allowed us photographers. See, there was Ranjit and myself, two of us who were unofficially the official photographers. We could come and take a picture of this gentleman with Swami, of this devotee with Swami. So it was not just a chance for them, it was a chance for us too, and we would alternate every day. This day, as I was taking the picture, I noticed that Swami turned his head away from me and he was looking somewhere else. I wondered what was it that had distracted him and I waited for him to look back so that I can take the picture. But it appeared as if Swami was in no mood to turn and pose for the picture. I first thought that maybe the gentleman, the devotee who was sitting by his side, had done something to upset Swami and that's why Swami was doing this. But then Swami's head was turned towards that devotee only. If he had done something to upset him, he should have turned his head away, right? I did not understand what had happened. Anyway, I clicked the picture because otherwise this devotee will not even get a memory to keep. A couple of hours later, I received a call and I was told that Professor G. Venkatraman or Jivi sir, the only director of Radio Sai to have been appointed by Swami himself, great being, my humble salutations to him. I received a phone call that he was summoning me to his room. So, I went to his room, knocked the door. May I come in, sir? Yes, come in. What other option have I got left? That was a very strange reply. I went in. Sai Ram, sir. Why do you do these things? He asked. These things that bring bad reputation and disrepute to all of us at Radio Sai. Sir, what did I do, sir? Despite Swami warning you, you are taking ladies on your bike, that too in the night? How can you do this? Now, one part of his statement I understood. It had been just about 40-45 days before, during our flight from Hadshi, return flight from Bombay to Puttaparthi after the Hadshi visit. Swami had told about this and I had promised Swami that I would never take ladies on my bike. I mean, that's a beautiful story in itself with a strong message. In case you missed seeing that, you can have a look at it in this link above. So, Venkatraman sir was obviously making reference to that. But what is this that he is talking about? And then it struck me, and even as it struck me, a fear coursed through my heart and I felt that all was lost now. In the second week of December 2009, the devotees from Singapore had arrived on their pilgrimage to Prashantinilayam. They had put up a program in Swami's presence and Swami had blessed them and they were all very happy. Now, I had a dear friend whose family had also arrived from Singapore and I had gone along with him to meet his family in North 1 building. Now, at the end of that, before we could return home, this friend's elder sister had a problem with her foot and she needed to go to the North 5 building in Prashantinilayam along with her two sons. One son was about 4 to 5 years old, the other was about 8 or 9 years old, and since she had a problem with her foot, my friend requested me whether I could drop her on my bike to North 5. Now, as you would have seen in the link that I referred to before, I had promised Swami that I would never take a girl on my bike. But this was someone who was more than 10 years elder to me, with 2 children, and was also a patient. And I really did not think much about it and I said yes, of course. I had dropped her along with her two sons on my bike from North 1 to North 5 building inside Prashant Nilayam, barely a distance of 100 meters. It was about 9:30 p.m. At that same time, I had also seen two senior alumni brothers walking on the road. I had even greeted them Sairam. And now it appeared as if one of them had possibly complained to Swami about this, and Swami was upset. And that is what Venkatraman sir told me. He said, you were taking a lady on your bike, that too in the night. I said, no sir, that's not a lady, that's a sister of so and she had a problem. Is she a lady or not? Technically yes, she's a lady, but... And then Venkatraman sir just flared up. He said, this is what you do in all your hurry, you don't think and you spoil. And Swami scolded not just me, he said, all Radio Sai boys are like this. You brought disrepute to the whole of Radio Sai. Shame on you, and I can't even scold you. I just didn't know what to say. He said, out you go, don't ever show your face to me, and don't do such things that bring down the reputation of something that we have built for so many years. I just walked out of the room, thoroughly shaken. I was worried only about one thing. My heart was fearful only about one thing. Swami, I have disappointed you. Oh God, Swami, I have upset you. And I was thinking, now Swami may throw me out. Because you see, when you do something once, it's a mistake. When you do it for the second time, it's a choice. It's no longer a mistake. And Swami had clearly told me less than 45 to 50 days before, don't take any girls, any women on your bike. How could I do this? How could I do this? And automatically tears began to stream down my cheeks because I thought it's over now. It's over. I will no longer be with Swami. Swami is going to send me away for having done this. Not knowing what else to do, I called up Sai Prakash, my senior at Radio Sai. He has been my mentor, and he was the one also who helped me in onboarding myself to Radio Sai. So many things, maybe I will cover that in a separate video later. But I called him and I said, Sai Prakash, what happened, Arvind? Hey. I said, I'm gone, man. I'm gone. What happened? I broke down and narrated all that had happened, including me giving drop to that friend's sister and the story so far. And I began to weep. He said, Arvind, calm down, calm down. See the silver lining, see the bright spot. What bright spot do you see? I see only pitch black clouds here. I don't see any bright spot. He said, see Arvind, Swami loves everybody, but for those whom he has a special place in the heart, only those people he scolds. He takes the liberty of scolding. So he has taken that liberty with you, which means he loves you a lot. Honestly, CG, I told him, I don't mind if Swami loves me a little bit less, but I don't want this. I want to stay with Swami. I cannot go away from Swami. Please, Swami, please, I don't want from you. I said, Arvind, keep that feeling alive, because you yearn for Swami so much. That's why Swami is correcting you. Be strong, be brave, be courageous, face it, everything will be fine, don't worry. That call was over, but I was not consoled. I was very, very distraught. Dear brothers and sisters, the greatest fear I have in my life is that I should not lose Swami. People would say in the olden days, that he is a God-fearing person. I'm not a God-fearing person. I'm a God-loving person, and I fear losing God. But then I remembered that, as I said, me and Ranjit, the other photographer, we would alternate. Two days we would alternate. 2 days I will take photos, 2 days he will take photos for the elderly people who would come and offer the rose to Swami. So I immediately called him and said, Ranjit, from tomorrow onwards, till I tell you again, only you take these photos every evening. Please be ready for that. He wondered, why was I giving up such a wonderful opportunity? He said, are you sure, Arvind? Why are you telling this? I don't mind, let's do alternate. I said, no, Ranjit, just please pray for me, Ranjit. And I began crying again. He asked, what happened? So I will tell you later, but please pray for me. I am in very, very bad shape. And I cut the call. I didn't know what to do now. Once again, now Sai Prakash calls me and he says, Arvind, there's some good news. What is it? I was like a traveler in a desert, thirsting for the water of good news. So tell me, what is the good news? He said, you remember how Venkatraman sir, he had called you to the room and he told you that he can't even scold you? Yes. I just now spoke to Venkatraman sir and he told me that he cannot scold you because Swami told him not to scold you very harshly. What? Yes. Swami had this entire conversation at the dining table, but later on when he was retiring, when he was near the lift, he called Venkatraman sir specially to the side and then told him, see, you advise him but don't scold him and don't be harsh on him. That is you. Because he said, Swami said that his heart is very tender and he will get crushed if you talk very harshly to him. So tell it to him gently and correct him. See, Arvind, how much Swami loves you. And now again, I was in tears. I was just thinking, Swami, how you know me so well. You know me better than myself. And Swami, thank you for telling that statement, Swami. I don't know if I would have been able to take it even if Jivi sir had told it much more milder than the way he said. But Swami, just listening that you told this statement to him, I am feeling little calm and little happy and little peaceful. Thank you so much, Swami. Thank you. And it was only because I heard that sentence of Swami's love. Look, dear brothers and sisters. On one hand, here is he correcting a person who has done wrong. At the same time, that love remains the same. I was so deeply touched. And I thought, Swami, now you know, Swami, even if I have to leave and go, knowing that you love me so much, care for me so much, know me so well through and through, that's so wonderful, Swami. And thus, I could sleep a bit peacefully that night. As expected, the next day when Swami came for darshan in the mandir, he did not look at me at all. Swami sat on the dais and I was continuously looking at him, but Swami was not looking at me. And thinking of all the beautiful things that had happened in the previous year between me and Swami, I was thinking, oh my God, because of my foolishness, because of my hurry, all of that has come to an end. And again tears welled up in my eyes and tears would start streaming down my cheeks. And every now and then I would have to pull out my handkerchief, bend my face down and wipe. And through the corner of my eye, I could see that whenever I was wiping the tears, Swami is looking at me. But the moment I look back at him, he looks away. And then I thought, Swami, if I should not look at you for you to look at me, then I won't look at you, Swami. It's a very tough thing to do, not looking at you. But Swami, it is even tougher knowing that you are not looking at me. And therefore, I began to bend down my head more frequently, and from the corner of the eye, I could see that Swami was looking at me. It felt so good. Swami, so you're still looking at me. You're consciously avoiding me. You're avoiding me, I am sad. But since you're doing it consciously, I feel so wonderful, Swami. Thank you so much. That day, again, Sai Prakash told me that you know what happened today at Yajur Mandir? When Venkatraman sir and others were having dinner with Swami, Swami asked Venkatraman sir whether he had warned you. And Venkatraman sir said yes, he had done. And then Swami told Chakravarti sir, who was then the secretary of the Central Trust, he told Chakravarti sir also to advise you. So be ready, tomorrow Chakravarti sir may call you. Sure enough, the next day I was summoned by Chakravarti sir and I went to his office. And he asked me, what is it that I am hearing about you? Something, what did you do? He asked. I knew that he knows everything, but he wanted it in my words. So I told him the whole story. And again, I broke down and I said, sir, I just wanted to help a patient and there was no wrong intention, sir. I did not mean anything else. And then he said, see, what you mean has to be communicated clearly. Otherwise, the people who see you will judge you based on the glasses they are wearing. Now that I felt was a hint that again another complaint about me had gone. I don't know which of the two brothers possibly, but the complaint had definitely been gone. That was the important thing. And so I said, sir, I don't know what to do. He said, you must ask forgiveness from Swami. Sir, please, can you tell Swami that I am sorry? No, I cannot tell that. You have to tell him that you're sorry. And whatever may happen in the future, don't take any other lady, girl, woman, anybody on your bike. Definitely. Definitely, sir, I won't do that. And thank you, sir. Please pray for me, I said. And I left. Immediately, I wrote a long apology letter to Swami, sought his forgiveness, promised him that I would be more careful, and I waited. But multiple darshans passed and the same treatment continued. Swami would not look at me, forget take my letter, and only when I was not looking at him and I was shedding tears would he look at me. And of course, at the end of the day, when Aarti was being received and the person would go to offer a rose, it was Ranjit every day who would go and take the photographs. And then also I noticed that Swami in the corner of his eye would see whether I'm getting up or not for taking the photo, and seeing that I'm not getting up, he would then pose and look at Ranjit. So it was ignoring, no doubt, but it was always conscious, and that is what kept me going. After a few days, Chakravarti sir again called me to his office and he said, "Listen, I told you to write an apology letter to Swami. Why are you not following that advice?" I said, "Sir, I have written, but Swami is not taking from me." "What do you mean?" "Sir, every day during darshan, Swami doesn't even look at me. How can I give him the letter?" "You fool! Swami will not look at you and Swami will not take the letter from you. You send it to him. Send it to him by fax." "By fax? Sir, does Swami have a fax number?" "Don't you know?" "No, sir." "Write this down. This is the fax number, and so is in charge of receiving all the faxes for Swami and taking it to Swami. So once you send the fax to Swami, call him up and tell him that you have sent a fax and that you are in an emergency situation. He will place it on top for Swami to see." Wow. Again, I was grateful to him, and I am sure that this also must have been Swami's advice. Swami must have inquired, why is this boy not writing the apology letter? Because, dear brothers and sisters, who are we for anybody else to care about? It is only Swami, mark my words, it is only Swami who cares for us. Nobody cares a damn for us. Any care, any concern, any affection anybody shows to us is because of the importance and care and affection that Swami shows on us. That is why whatever we do, let us do it to please God. If we please God, the world is happy automatically. And if we don't please God, even if the whole world applauds, it means nothing. And so, grateful for this advice, I sent my first fax, and the only person I have ever sent a fax to in my life is Swami. I sent a fax on day 1 seeking his apology. I sent a fax on day 2 as well, again profusely apologizing for what I had done. And day 3, the same thing was continuing. I felt, Swami, I don't want to take up your time writing more and more of these apology letters. In the 3rd letter I wrote, Swami, you know everything. You know my intention. And so, Swami, I don't know what else to say. I will try my best not to repeat this. But you know my intention. Please forgive me, Swami. But I am ready for whatever you decide. It's okay, Swami. Whatever you decide, I know it's good for me. I'm fine for it. This will be the last apology letter I am writing, Swami, because I don't know what else to write. And I sent that to Swami. And I decided that I will not write any more apology letters. It's fine. I will face whatever Swami has in store for me. And it was now the 24th of December. Almost a fortnight had passed since my misadventure, and the 24th of December, it was the 1st year anniversary of my best friend card. In 2008, that's a beautiful story of how Swami showed me that he is my best friend. It is a very, very dear story to my heart, and I have shared this in great detail at this link above. Please do visit and watch it in case you have not. But here I was sitting on the 24th of December 2009 on the 1st year anniversary of my card, and here was Swami not talking to me, not looking at me, and possibly ready to send me out. I didn't have the courage to sit in the front with my camera anymore. It was Christmas Eve, and the devotees from many Western countries who used to travel to Prashanthi Nilayam back in those days for Christmas Eve, so they had all come, and it was a chance of the Russian speaking country, so they had all gathered to sing And I was sitting very far behind taking photos, not in any line of view of Swami, But to my great amazement, dear brothers and sisters, on that day when I had written that letter, as I looked through my zoom lens, Swami was far away, but he was so near because he was constantly looking at me. I was sitting at least 15 to 20 meters away, but so many times he kept looking at me, and in my heart I began a conversation with him. That is the Swami that is closest to us and always available to us, the omnipresent, omniscient Sai in our heart. And dear brothers and sisters, we should pray to that Swami. I said, Swami, I think you have forgiven me for my mistake. So I am going to do my duty of taking photographs with all my energy. I am going to get up and walk and take a photo from the other angle. You should not mind, Swami. I got up and went, and as I walked, Swami followed me with his gaze. He kept looking at me, and I felt more and more encouraged because there was no anger on his face, no irritation, no negative. In fact, on a couple of occasions, he even smiled at me. I felt so happy, so thrilled. That's when I realized why Swami says nearness is not important. Dearness is important. I was very far from Swami, dear brothers and sisters, but I felt so close to him. We may be far away from India, we may be far away even from planet Earth, but if we have him in our heart and feel dear to him, that's more than enough. And that is how Christmas Eve became a joyous celebration for me. On the morning of Christmas, 25th December, I sat in the front taking photographs. Swami posed for a couple of photographs. I felt so happy. In the evening, there was a special program by the Russians, and I was now so confident, so happy that everything is fine. I decided I would sit in the first row and take photos because now Swami is fine. That day I made another mistake, The ladies' side had been left relatively empty because it was a choir and singing performance by both ladies and gents. And gents were seated on the gents' side of the hall. The ladies' side had been left little empty. And there was a carpet in between. So that I can get the best pictures of Swami, I went and sat on the carpet right in the center. And as Swami came on the dais, he looked at me and he beckoned like this. I felt so happy. Swami was interacting with me. And then he had a frown on his face and Swami said, go. He pointing to the gent side, he said, go and sit there. And then I realized that I was sitting the closest to the ladies. Oh God. Yes, there was quite some distance, but I was sitting beyond the last line of gents and closest to the ladies taking photos. And how could I do this after all this? I went and sat well inside the gents' side and shuddered to look at Swami. But then when I looked at him, he again smiled so beautifully and he said, yes, sit there only, okay? So it was not going to be a repeat. I felt so relieved, and possibly this was the second toughest period with Swami after that episode concerning fruits of action, which is at this link above. But again, all's well that ends well. Swami would often state in his discourses, Astiram jivanam loke, astiram yauvanam dhanam, astiram dhara putradi, satyam kirti dvayam sthiram. Meaning, in this world, life is impermanent, youth is impermanent, wealth is impermanent, your wife, children, family, everything is impermanent. What are permanent? Satyam, truth, and kirti, reputation. Swami did not say truth and satya and dharma, truth and righteousness, or truth and love. He said truth and reputation. These are the two permanent, and therefore we have to protect both. Truth, we have to be truthful, we have to be good. Reputation, we have to appear good. Both are important, and that is the reason why it is not enough if we are just good. We have to appear good as well. Now, before I conclude, one more thought over here. Appearing good does not mean being a hypocrite. Appearing good means communicating and expressing and showing through our body language or spoken language what we truly are. It is not about putting on a front and being a hypocrite, having bad thoughts within and appearing to be good. No, not that. Appearing good means being true in appearing what we are within, and what we are within should be good. Therefore, it is important to be good Satyam. It is also important to have a good reputation. That is the message that I learned. And after that day, of course, other than my wife Pooja, I dare not take any other woman on my bike. I have taken my mother, of course. Mother is always an exception. But I have learnt my lesson the hard way, but such a memorable and beautiful way, for which I am grateful to Swami. Dear Swami, may we always follow you. May we always love you. The greatest fear in all our lives, Swami, is that we lose your love. Let that fear never pass. Let us always do everything to love you more and more and more each passing day. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.